Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Krista Escamilla Show. I'm so grateful that you're spending time with us, and I hope your day is going well. Can you believe it? We're in the last part of the year. It's craziness. I'm so excited to introduce our guest, but before we do, I want to thank our sponsors because you know how I feel about them. I'm so grateful. So a big shout out to Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial, Tapestry Hotel Midland, Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap Company, ThinFR, and joincapclub.com. Please support those local businesses however you see fit. And as you know, I always say, just support local. So speaking of local, I'm so excited to introduce our guest today. Lauren Wall is the owner of Shop Estilo. And she is an amazing mom and fashionista and really famous on Instagram. So
oh my gosh, that is a stretch.
Thank you so much for being with us, Lauren.
Thank you for having me. My God, that was so natural for you. Oh, that was amazing.
You're so sweet.
Krista, that was amazing. I'm like, you have no notes, no nothing.
It's no teleprompter. It's not like the news days where I had a teleprompter.
And are you for hire? Like, I'm like, I've got some work for you at my store if you want to come work. Oh my gosh.
Always for hire and always sponsorships available. I'm so
That's
excited.
Amazing.
I'm so excited to talk with you. First of all, I just think you're amazing. I really do. I've been following your business for the past few years, and a big customer wearing my
I love that
sweatshirt that I got there. My girls absolutely adore your store and everybody in it, and so we're there a lot. But I never knew your story, so I'm like, I've just seen you. Hi, bye, and so that's what I love about podcasting is I get to just spend time with you and chat, but then I also get to hear your story and we get to share it with our amazing listeners. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got to West Texas.
So I was actually born and raised in Midland, and like every kid that graduates high school from Midland, they're like, I'm never, ever coming back. Yeah. And I went off to Tech and majored in exercise, sports science, and Spanish. I cheered at Tech. I literally bleed red and black. I loved it. But when I graduated, I knew I wasn't quite ready to like go into teaching because I really wanted to teach high school Spanish and coach cheerleading. So I went off and had an amazing opportunity to do mission work down in Santiago, Chile for a couple of years. And when I was in high school, when I was in college, I worked a lot of retail jobs.
Okay.
And I always thought I wanted to be a teacher. And not to say anything about, I loved teaching. I loved my students. I loved coaching, but there was always this desire to own a boutique. In hindsight, I would go back and tell every kid, if you don't know what to major in business. But
good advice. That's great advice.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, if you don't know, just do business. Like it will get you so far. But anyway, so I was in Santiago, Chile, and I was riding this bus, which is called a micro down there. It's their public transportation. And I just kept thinking like this longing of like, man, one day I'd love to own a store. I'd love to own a store because I love people. I love clothes. It's what I always wanted. And I was just having a quiet time. And the Lord just like literally spoke to me so clearly. And he was like, you will. And when you do, you will name it Shop Estilo. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so
like you heard it that clearly
so
that day.
So clearly.
I love it.
So very clearly. And 15 years later is when I finally got to do what I wanted to do. And it was the right time. And I'd come back from Chile and I taught at Odessa High, coached cheerleading, loved it. And when I started having babies, I thought, I cannot teach anymore and raise my kids because with the schedule of a coach, it was crazy. And so we moved off to Colorado for 6 years and loved it there. And then we moved back kicking and screaming because when we were in Durango, we were like, we're never moving back to Colorado. I mean, we're never moving back to Texas. And here we are. And so I'd come back and
you're not alone in that. A lot of people say that kicking and screaming part.
Oh yeah.
But then they love it even more when they come back.
They do. They really do. And the Lord is so faithful, truly, like he's so faithful. And we came back and we thought we were coming for an amazing job, which my husband has an incredible job and it's been an amazing experience. But we come back and my mom, we find out my mom had it ended up being terminal cancer. And so got to be here for that and be here for my brother going through a pretty rough time. And I was not teaching and I had owned like a little jewelry thing where I made jewelry, and that was how I learned how to do social media, because I made jewelry.
Okay.
And learned how to use social media because I never wanted to do the wholesale route of it. And then I just thought, okay, this is my chance. And my kids were both in school, and I, like you, we just talked about this, that I cannot stay at home. I love that for everybody. But like, if it were me, I would just sit on a couch all day and watch Law and Order SVU and do nothing and be the most lazy human. So I was like, I love to work.
Yes.
And anyway, I just thought it was my chance. And so I started, I'm sorry, is this too long of a story?
No.
I mean, it's really...
Here's the beauty of podcasting. Lauren.
Yeah.
There is never too long. I mean, really, that's what I love about it. It is your chance. I want to hear it all. So keep going with this story.
Okay.
I love
because it really, like, it's just amazing, like, how God's timing is so perfect. And that's why the story is so interesting, because 15 years ago, it was like the Lord had told me it would happen. And I started doing this. It was called Shop Stevie, and she was this blogger who started clothing, and you bought from her, and you were kind of like a rep for her, but it was essentially like you went to market, kind of. You picked out some of the stuff that she would pick, and then they would send it to you. You got to use her photos. And what really spurred me on was they would do these challenges of, like, there was probably 4,500 reps in the United States, and they said whoever was the top selling rep every month, you got like you could win something. I was like, say less. Like, I love a good competition. So I started figuring out, okay, how am I going to move clothes? How can I sell clothes? That was when I got on Facebook and started doing Facebook Lives, because I realized Stevie was this tiny human, and her pictures, no one could relate to that.
Right.
It was like any kind of stock photo, which you know about stock photos in your business.
Right.
There's no life to them. It's literally just to show the item of clothing. And so I thought,
and you can't tell. Is that going to fit on me? Is that going to look good on me? I want to see it on a person moving. Yeah,
that's right. And so I realized, look, if I'm going to win these awards or win these prizes, how am I going to do that? I have got to sell these clothes in a way that feel like people can connect with it. People can know how it fits, what it feels like. And you know, I mean, you've been around me long enough to know I'm a pretty hot mess express. So you get me on camera, and I don't mean to be, but it's just anything goes. And so that's how it started. And then I kept winning all of these things. And I thought, I don't need her anymore. And so ended up not doing that anymore. Right. And I thought, I'm going to market on my own. I'd always loved style. I'd always loved fashion. And that, I will say, I did learn so much. It was a very low risk to do what I did with her, but it was such good teaching, because I didn't have a business background. I didn't have, and that's the thing about retail. Yeah. Even if you have a business background, there really is no way to prepare you for the world of retail.
That's so true.
It is. And when people, and my dad is an interior designer in town, and I had watched
shout out famous interior designer.
James Van Stavern, he's just salt of the earth and truly one of the most talented humans. But I saw him growing up with a small business and the ins and outs of that, which I mean, he has taught me so much.
I was going to ask you that. Did you learn a lot from watching it? Because my mom owned a small business her whole life too, and I learned so much. What was the one thing that you learned the most by watching his small business?
How you treat people. The way you treat people. It's like you can be the most talented human, but if you do not know how to treat people, you have no business. Yeah. None. No. And
true.
I mean, and he also has, I'm a lot like my dad in this way. God, now it's going to sound like I'm very like, I really like myself, but he really has like this infectious personality, and like, it's more about the relationship than it is about selling something. Right. And that I always saw with him. I always saw he really connected to his clients on a different way than just someone that's like, you need this, you need this, you need that. He really listened to people. He really heard people, and he tried to do exactly what he wanted, not what he wanted.
I love it. What the customer wanted.
What the customer wants.
And that's so important, because you could have walked into any house that he designed and you'd go, oh, this is Van Stavern. But yet it looked different than the last Van Stavern.
Well, and that's what's so funny is that people would walk into our house growing up, and if you've ever been to our home, they don't live there anymore, but it was yellow walls, purple walls, blue walls, cheetah this, stuff hanging from I mean, I still remember my kids when they were infants, and I took them out to his cantina, which he had in the back, and there was just stuff everywhere. My kids were like they couldn't even go to sleep because they just were looking at there was
overstimulated.
Sorry, yeah, there was so much to see, and I think when people would see that, they would think, oh, he's a one-trick pony. But that was what made him so good, is that that's what he liked.
Right.
But if you were more, I really like the whites and the grays and the contemporary, he could do that and put his spin on it. Yeah. And one of my most favorite things that he ever said was when he goes into a client's home and they're like, well, I saw this on Pinterest. And he's like, I'm going to stop you right there. I am Pinterest, honey. Like, you don't need to give me inspo. I have got it. And honestly, I feel that in my business
with fashion,
because look, in my world, I saw a blogger wear this, I saw a blogger wear that. I'm like, that is great, but you're not that blogger. And like, for me, the most fun part about my job is creating. And I really like people, because of who my dad is, are like, can you come over and help me with my house? I'm like, no,
I can't.
I can't even hang my own picture.
Your closet.
Yes. But people assume because of who my dad is that I could hang a picture or organize a room. No. But I could go in. I've always loved that. I've always loved to go into a closet and just put the most unexpected outfits together. And that I got from my mom, because my mom, who was short, petite, larger chested, kind of square, and just didn't have a normal body. I watched her look so amazing, but she wasn't your typical body type. And you had to learn and be creative of, I love that it looks good on that model, or I love that it looks good on that person, but that's not going to work on me. And that is something that is my favorite part of the job, is like someone to walk into my store and say, because honestly, 90% of people don't know. A store is overwhelming to them. They would never say that out loud.
In that. Oh, no, I'll say it out loud. I'll shout it from the rooftops. I find it very overwhelming because I am not a fashion. I mean, I got this on today because I was like, oh my gosh, what do I wear? I'm going to be with Lauren. She's so adorable.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, I'm going to wear something I got at Shop Estilo.
I love it. I love it.
But it is tough for us non-fashionistas and not even, and it's not even really fashionista. It's just putting the outfit together. I like look in my closet and I have that panic, and I'm sure you've heard that before.
Oh, yeah.
And you just look and go, I don't know, what do I do? Okay, well, I'm going to put on my same jeans and black shirt that I wear.
That's right.
I call it my mom uniform.
The uniform. Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah. It's my mom uniform.
I've heard uniform, and I've also heard, hold on, what's the word? I have not strategy. Anyway, I'll come to it. But but people who just, they want to look nice, but they're not necessarily, they don't know how to do it. They're like, I have a formula, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and it's all, and I'm like, they're like, what's your formula? I'm like, it's very unplanned, and which is more fun for me. But anyway, that is truly, that is my favorite part of this job, is that creating those relationships with people, creating an environment where people feel welcome, and that we're not going to service just one type of person.
Yes.
That we're going to love you, whether you're 6'2", whether you are 4'9", whether you're a size 0, a size 12. That is, we are going to love you the exact same. And
you succeeded that. I will tell you
you
that. There's an energy that when you walk in your store, and you feel very welcome, and you feel very much like, okay, that, this is what I'm here for, and they'll help you. Like the other day, I didn't even have my daughter with me, and I was like, this is, and I said that. I said she's, and I gave her like dimensions, and I showed a picture, and she was like, oh, well, this one, she like knew right away which one was going to be perfect for her, and I love that. I think that's so important to me. The energy and the environment that you walk into in a place. It really creates that feeling of, I want to go back there. And that's, as a business owner, you would love nothing more than repeat customers and them to go tell people to go there.
That's right. Well, that's, again, like, I'm sorry, I keep referencing my parents, but my gosh, they were such good examples.
That's
and
awesome.
I learned, honestly, I learned more from them than I ever learned at tech in the business that I do now. But, I remember my mom, as fabulous as she was, and like, she was, like, when you saw her at church, my gosh, that woman was dressed to the nines. But she also loved to wear Umbros and an oversized t-shirt. And when we would go on vacation, like, that was her uniform. And we would go into these nice stores, and it was really interesting to watch people kind of shun her because they're like, there's no way she can buy something in here. She doesn't care about fashion, or whatever inner monologue they had going. And I thought, you have no idea who she is. You have no idea if she, likes to get dressed up sometimes, but because, there are people who are dressed perfectly all the time.
Right.
But there's like me, like I love to live in leggings. And it's funny, like when people walk into my store, a lot of times you're going to see me in a tennis skirt, an oversized sweatshirt, and it could be like, you know how to put stuff. And it's like, I just don't do it all the time. Right. I like to be comfortable, and it's, anyway, so I just remember
That's the beauty of fashion, I think, too, is you can change it up. Like your vest today is adorable.
Thanks.
And like you said, but tomorrow you could be in some leggings and, and a t-shirt. And it's going to look adorable, too.
You can make it cute. That's right. But you just can't ever judge a book by its cover.
No.
You just can't.
And I was going to ask you, what did you learn from your mom? Because you mentioned the thing that you learned most from your dad. What did you learn the most from your mom that you carry on with you today?
Oh, my
And I wish I could have met her. I know she was amazing.
Yeah, she was... so much. I mean, her way with people, she was this dynamic, like, firecracker that, when everybody wanted the attention, she wanted to get to work. And I remember she was the president of everything. She ran the Symphony Guild, and it wasn't because she wanted to add it to her social portfolio.
Right.
She was willing to do the work. And everybody to this day, in fact, people at her funeral, I lost my mom about 1.5 years ago.
So sorry.
But people at her funeral were like, oh, I remember, like she'd get up at those PTA meetings and it was like Debbie meant business. And she just got stuff done. She was a worker. She didn't do it for accolades. She didn't do it for the attention. She didn't do it so that we would get ahead in life. I mean, she did it because that's what she said, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to work at it hard, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And that for me has translated in my work ethic that it's, if you're going to do something, do it. And what is your why? My why is, again, it goes back to 15 years ago when the Lord was like, you're going to do this, not so that I could make tons of money or have all this like notoriety or whatever. It was like, no, you're here to serve people and serve me. And my mom did. She served people for no other reason because that's what she was supposed to do.
I love it.
And it was great.
I have so many more questions.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to that in just a minute when you listen to the Lord that day. But first we do quote of the day.
Oh, yay! Okay.
So here's what we do. You just pull out one of these cards and you read the back. I can't wait to see which one you pull out.
Positive.
Of course, because you like literally.
That is so funny.
I'm like, you are one of the most. I love positive people. I love positivity, and I'm like, I always get that from you. So that is a perfect card from you.
That's
awesome. What does it say?
Do the best you can. No one can do more than that. By John Wooden. That's so good.
Isn't that a good quote? What does that mean to you?
I mean, honestly, that's exactly what we just talked about.
Isn't that amazing? See, the Lord just works like that. I sing a lot during the podcast. Sorry.
Same.
I sing all day.
You have got to come hang out with us because one of the girls who works with us, Cameron, she is so, until you get to know her, she's pretty quiet, but everything, she's just, hey guys, and everything is like this.
I love it. I love it.
It is. So now the entire Shop Estilo staff sings their words all the time. Oh no. When someone has on something kind of bad, you're like, oh no.
I love it.
It's amazing.
I love
so
that
funny.
so much. I have to meet her because I love a fellow singer that will just sing, and not that everyone wants to hear it, but I just can't help it. Al had to listen to me
people
for
say they
4
don't
hours yesterday in the car drive.
Yeah, I'm like, people say they don't want to hear it, but really it brings them joy.
Oh, good.
So there's
good.
that.
Okay, good joy. So what is
that.
So with that said, we're talking a lot about it. What is your favorite quote that you live by?
Oh my gosh. Oh, Krista. I have so many.
Good. Yes, I love it.
Golly, I'm going to have to really think about that one because it's, and now I can't think of the exact scripture, but it's like, do everything for the Lord and not for men. And that is what I live by. I'm like, I
love that.
It's so tempting, and especially in a world where everything is social media and people are looking and you want to like.
What was that?
Colossians 3:23.
Oh, thank you, Al.
My God.
Wow.
Listen, okay, Al, listen. The guy can do it all. I walked in and he was like, going over these pictures. I'm like, I'm sorry, what don't you do? Like, what,
as a
don't you
business
excel
owner,
at?
as a business owner, you have to do it all, right?
Yeah, but there's few people who can do it all well. I'm like looking at all of his pictures that he's taken. I'm like, okay,
He is pretty amazing. I will agree with you 100%.
My gosh.
He's awesome.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you, sweetie.
You're amazing. Oh man, and my ADHD is kicking in. So what were we talking about?
We were talking about your favorite quote, do for the Lord, not the men.
That's right. So anyway, I just, I just think for me, my why is, it's very much like my mom's always was, is I'm trying to bring glory to the Lord. And I mean, I'm going to screw up all the time, but I mean, the way I treat people, the way I treat my staff, it's like, I want people to see Christ in the way that I live and the way that you're treated. And it's just, I would say it's tough in this business because, I mean, you've been to stores and you've shopped and you've been a consumer, and it's like, that's not always, it can be very intimidating to walk into stores. Right. And especially if you're like, I don't know what I'm looking for, or I don't want to be vulnerable and ask for help, or are they judging me? And it's like, that's just not so I want the atmosphere in our store to be different, and one that people feel welcome, and that, we can, help and love them well. And even if they walk out with nothing, if they had a great experience and walked out saying, my day's better, we've done our job.
And you do that. And I have to say, yesterday, was it yesterday? I can't remember. Yesterday or the day before. To hear y'all giggling and laughing
all the time,
it made my day.
Oh, good.
I know y'all were recording a reel. Maybe it was for this Wednesday's drop, or wait, we already dropped. You dropped yesterday. Mm-hmm. So it was probably like Monday or Tuesday. So I
like that you know the schedule.
Well, thank you.
Doing my job. Doing my job.
So I figured y'all were doing it for the drop, and I laughed so hard listening to you. I was like, I love that. You should feel joy when you walk into a place.
Yeah.
You don't ever, like, to me, this is going to be fun. I think you'll find this funny. I have one pet peeve in our store, and that's if music isn't playing when you walk in.
Same. Same.
Sweetie, did you hear that?
No.
Yes, I'm not alone.
No.
It's
and
my
honestly,
one pet peeve. Other than that, I'm like, I am so relaxed and kicked back, and I could care less what you do.
That's right.
To a point.
But okay, would you have it jamming, or are you content with it being kind of just silently in the background?
I like it to be where you can hear it, but enough you can have a conversation, but loud enough where you're like, it's there, because that brings energy to it.
Oh yeah, like I could have the club vibe going.
Oh yeah,
now, I don't mean like the but just like where it's kind of like, this is so fun.
Yes.
Like it's so loud, it's so fun.
You want the energy.
Yeah, but then we've had people like, what did you say? I'm like, oh, okay, it's
that's
too
when
loud.
I know we have to turn it down. When someone says, what? I didn't hear you. I'm like, okay, then we need to bring it down just a little bit.
That's right.
Just a little bit though. But you had Taylor going, and I was loving it. I was there for all of it.
Oh, we're in our Taylor era up at the store. Big
gosh, what's your favorite?
Oh, nope, you can't do that.
I have to.
Nope.
What's your era and what's your
Reputation is my favorite. And so I did not go see the concert live. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But
I didn't get to either. My daughters went, but I had surgery and I didn't get to go. I couldn't climb the flight of stairs because we were nosebleed section.
What a bummer.
I know.
What a bummer. I didn't go either.
But anyway.
I told my husband, I'm like, I think I'm going to have to go see her in Europe. I don't know. Like, sorry, we missed out in the United States, so I'm going abroad.
I love it.
But we went
I'm going to have to pull the same one.
Have you seen the movie?
Not yet. I'm waiting for our girls to get home from college.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go with them.
So we went, and I realized, like, I really don't love folklore, and she talks about, and she sings so much in this concert from folklore, probably because she didn't get to tour with it, but I'm like, ugh. That's when we went to go get refills on popcorn and go to the bathroom, because that just wasn't that great.
Yeah, I'm with you. The songs are a little different.
They are, and it's the one she's the most proud of. I'm like,
which do you know that
Folklore is the album?
The album's the one she's most proud of.
Yes,
like the whole thing. Okay,
yeah, because her era tour, she sings from every album. But she does the most from that album, and I was like,
yeah. Do you love Style from 1989?
Yeah.
I was like, I bet Lauren loves Style. I literally had that thought this morning.
Princess Diana, man, like the leggings and the biker shorts and oversized sweatshirts, the crew socks, and then the sneakers. Say less. Like
Yeah.
Love that biker shorts came back so hard about a year ago, and it's not going anywhere if I have anything to say about it.
Oh, good, because I'm going to ask you fashion tips at some point. We're going to get, because we have so much to talk about.
I love it. Well, when you have like the 2-hour intro of my story, which who knows if we even finished it, but it's fine. It's fine.
Well, is there anything in the intro to your story? Because I do
no.
want to know, because I think this is important for young people. Okay, there's so many things. First of all, you mentioned one thing. You said it's important to make mistakes. You like you said, I'm going to make mistakes, and the Lord forgives, and He's. I think it's so important for young people to realize that, right? That you're going to make mistakes. What is the one mistake you made that you are most proud of because you learned the most of it?
Oh my gosh, that was so deep. I don't make mistakes,
the
Krista.
Deep questions.
I'm just kidding.
I'm Barbara Walter. No, I'm kidding.
I know. I'm like, what if I just say I'm perfect and we go on? No, I'm just kidding. Biggest mistake. Ooh.
And it could be anything. Business. It could be like parenting. That's what I think. I wish I would have been nicer to myself when I'd made parenting mistakes. When I was a young parent. Looking back, I'm like, I don't think I handled that one right.
This is going to be so weird, but once you lose a parent, like I wish somebody would have told me this. Because I think as a kid, you just think your parents are going to live forever.
You do.
And you kind of take it for granted on the time you spend with them. And when my mom went through her first round of chemo and cancer, I was practically lived at MD Anderson with her because she had such a rare form. But I wish I would have written stuff down. Like, I think I knew the minute you hear the cancer diagnosis, you're like, okay, whether they tell you it's terminal or not, because they never even told my mother it was terminal, but you just go there. And there's so many moments now that she's gone that I wish I had written down. And I've heard friends of mine who've also lost a parent that they did write it down, or they recorded themselves with her. I wish I had more pictures with her. So now, because I actually hate being in front of the camera.
Which is so surprising because you're so good. Oh, you really are. You no, really. I don't just say that to everybody, Lauren.
So nice.
You are so good on camera.
But I like to be behind it, setting people up for, the silly and the funny.
For the fun dances.
Yeah, and letting them do their beautiful thing. But I look back on even with my kids, we don't take a lot of pictures together because of my insecurity in front of the camera. And my mom was the exact same. She hated being in front of she hated her neck in pictures. She felt like she had no neck and she was awkward. And hindsight, man, I wish I had just taken the picture.
Yep. And I think that's a good one. Yeah, take more pictures.
Yep. Because there are just days, some days are okay. And then there's other days where I'm like, man, I miss her a lot. Yeah. And I just wish I had her knowledge. I wish I had all of the things that we talked about written down. Because you can't remember everything and you try. And so, I wish I would have written more down and taken more video with her and more pictures.
I love that. That's beautiful. And such good advice. As having lost a parent 2 years ago, I feel the exact same way. And I noticed after, try not to cry.
Oh, I'm with you.
I made sure I was more intentional about the time spent with my still living parent.
Yes.
I flew my mom out the minute, because it was my dad that had passed. I flew my mom out, and she was like, "Is something wrong? She was like, why are y'all being so, we were being so much more intentional, right. I think." And she was just like, and I said, "Mom, our time is limited here." And when you lose someone you love, you realize how much time is limited, and that those moments, those memories that you make together with that person are so important.
Where did your mom live?
My mom lives in California.
Okay.
And my dad lived in California as well.
Okay.
And so, they would come out. I luckily got to see them a lot. I would go out there once a year. They would come out here once or twice a year. But I realized it probably 10 years ago. The older you get, the less those moments you get all together with your family. And so,
did you ever get to this point? Like, this is speaking of that. Like, I remember after again, after my mom's diagnosis, I said every day I'm going to call her. And
Yes.
there were days when it was hard because the mom doesn't ever leave her.
Right.
The parent doesn't ever leave that role, even though your
that's
kid is
good.
grown
That's
and
good.
you have kids of your own.
Yes.
Sometimes it would just drive me crazy when she would intervene and like be like, now you need to, and I'd be like, Mom, but that is exactly right. Like the intentionality behind we are not promised tomorrow.
Yeah. So be intentional about today. I love that. Good. Whew. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to be a mess here.
Same.
I'm going to be
Same.
crying.
Same.
But to get back to that moment where you said, God said, do the Shop Estilo. What would you say to someone that is young? Because I always like to speak to our young people because I love kids. I have so many of them. I have so many young people, and I always want to see people's dreams come true. Like to me, I'm a big cheerleader in the fact that I want your dream to come true. Like if you told me today you wanted to go national and you wanted to have a Shop Estilo in every town, I'd be like, yes, girl, you can do it, and I'm going to be cheering you on, and let's get this going and make it happen.
Yeah.
Like I just want everyone's dreams to come true. What would you say to someone that is maybe not sure what they want to do with their life, and they're in that place where they're like, everyone's asking me, what am I going to do the rest of my life? And I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of my life. What would you say to them?
I mean, both of my parents always encouraged me to know myself and to not do something for them, to not do something because all of my friends were doing it, to not, you know what I mean? And I think figure that out because it did take me a while. And that's what's so interesting to me now that I have kids, thinking about who says that your freshman year in college, you're going to know I love that. I love that for kids their whole life. They're like, I'm going to be a doctor or I'm going to be and I'm like, I love that for you.
But that's not everybody.
That isn't.
No. And that's why Notre Dame doesn't let you even declare your freshman year. Notre Dame University just says, we're not declaring. And I'm like, that is so smart because you don't know what you want to do. I've changed 3 times in college, my major.
And Canada does this. I think it's Canada that does that gap year. And after you graduate high school, like you can go and whether you intern or study abroad or travel or whatever. And I'm like, I learned the most about myself when I was in Santiago, Chile. I was in a very place I did not know. I just think to allow yourself to get to that vulnerable moment instead of thinking right after high school, I've got to go to college. Right after college, I've got to get married. Right after college, I've got to go get a job. And it's like,
boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Because
I agree.
I just think those moments when you're uncomfortable, those moments when you're kind of not doing what's textbook, those are the moments where you really do kind of figure out who you are. Yeah. And those are the moments, for me especially, where God was like, I'm coming in and we're going to do this thing. And and
you got to listen and then do the thing too. Because that's the hard thing. Sometimes you'll sit on it for a while because you're like, I think he told me to say or to do that, but then I just don't know if I'm ready to do it. You got to jump in and do it because what's the worst thing that can happen? It doesn't work. Oh, well, you move,
And you're so young. Yeah. I'm like, you're 22, 23. I mean, depends on how long it takes you to graduate college. But I'm like,
I was on the 6-year plan.
So was my brother. And it's fine. But really,
that's okay.
It's fine because wouldn't you rather, like for me, if my children decide that that's what they want to do is go to college, I'm like, I want you to go and feel like you're confident in what you're doing. And if it takes you a year to get there, that's okay. Because I don't want you to go for 4 years and decide, you know what, I did all this school for education and I really want to be a doctor. And it's like, man, but there's just moments where you're not in a school setting. And I don't mean like don't go to college, but I just think it's okay to like not do the plan that's been so traditional forever.
Right. I always say God's got a better plan for us than we ever could imagine. So
and be ready to listen.
Yes.
Be ready to
Love
listen.
that. Okay. We're sitting here today in Midland, Texas with Lauren Wall. She is the owner of Shop Estilo and mom. And I'm just enjoying this
Same
friendship that is blossoming because I just think you're amazing. I really do.
You're so
and I
sweet.
just love hearing your story and I like the way you think.
Oh, thank you.
And so I'm so excited. We are going to talk style and fashion
good.
in just a minute because I know that's what you're passionate about.
Yeah, that's an easy one
but
for me.
first we do what we call question of the day.
Okay.
So question of the day is just like a random question. You pick it out, you answer it. That's it. Nothing too hard. I'm not telling you to solve world peace or
Oh my
anything.
gosh.
Which card did you get?
I got Spirited, which, if you know me,
Yes.
that's pretty much me.
This is great. I love how this works out. This is so awesome.
Oh, this is such a funny question
Okay,
because
what
the
is it?
answer is ridiculous.
Okay.
What daily habit do you do that has made a positive impact on your life? Can I have two on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I have a two answer here.
There are no rules here, really,
Okay.
except for we don't talk politics.
Oh, no, that same. I won't either. I won't either. So you and I are
That
good
is
friends
the
on
only
that.
rule on
That's
the
right.
podcast.
So I am a habitual morning person. So let me just start with that.
Okay.
So every morning, my husband makes so much fun of me, but I have to do the thing in our house. You know, it's like I get up, wash my face, go, you know, make my bed. But
I love it.
I have to go get my specific Starbucks drink. I
Okay.
don't know why, but
It's just part of the routine. You have to do it.
and I feel like when I don't, it really throws my whole day off. Like it really, because I obviously, if you're listening, you know I'm very ADHD without medication, and I just squirrel. So it like kind of brings me a center. But lately, because of my like morning, I love the morning so much. Wendy, who, oh my gosh, if you follow us on Shop Estilo, you
Love
know Wendy.
Wendy.
She's really like America's sweetheart.
She is. I love her. Whenever she's on, I'm like, we need more Wendy on camera.
Oh,
we
we
need
do.
more Wendy on
Wendy,
camera.
just a sidebar, Wendy has tried to quit so many times. I'm like, I think it's time. I'm like, no, it's not. My family's like, eventually you're going to have to let her quit. I'm like, no, I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
No, not doing it.
We're not doing it. But she has really encouraged me as part of that morning of, hey, wake up 15 minutes early. Because I understand the importance of quiet time. It's always been the hardest for me because being still is just very hard for me because I'm very spirited. But with work and with family and just life getting busy, of having that time in the morning for God and to hear his voice and to be praying over your day and to invite God into your day. And she has been really encouraging me this for years. And this summer, I started doing that because, you know, change is hard. I just told you I get up and I have a routine, and it was this and it was, I don't want to add 15 minutes to my morning.
Right.
And it is now my most favorite. And I remember her telling me for so long, I promise you're going to love your day. Like when you do it, it's just going to feel different. And I was like, okay, Wendy, whatever.
Whatever. Give me my Starbucks.
That's right. Just give me Starbucks. And don't kid yourself, I do go to Starbucks every day. Still, that
See, I'm
has
like
not
that
changed.
with Spark from Advocare. I
need to
have
try it.
I have to have my Spark every morning.
Okay, well, maybe I'll try that.
I'll give you one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please
I have
do.
One, I have one right here. Okay.
Yes,
So good.
that's for lunch.
But yeah, I get it. I get that. Yes.
And she was right. It has made the biggest impact on my day. And I can tell when I don't, because strangely enough, I'm a little more edgy. I'm a little more quick to be grouchy. And it's so important. 15 minutes. Like it's 15 minutes of like, she said, just open your Bible, because that is intimidating too, because you're like, where do I start?
Where do I?
I'm not like a scholar and I don't know how to be like, ooh, and
Yes.
what if I don't hear his voice? And she's like, just open your Bible and say, Lord, I invite you into my day. And I invite you to just speak to me right now. Please speak. And just that quiet moment. And then she's like, just start working through the Bible. And that's what I've been doing. And it's truly amazing. Amazing.
I love that, because I think quiet time is so important. And I've had years where I've been good at it and years where I'm not good at it. And I do kind of this with it. But I notice when I'm doing it, the days are so much better.
Yep.
And you know what? And I'll be interested to see if this happens to you. Something happens in the day that you reference from your morning
For
quiet
sure.
time every single day, right?
Oh.
You go,
Yes.
read about that this morning. Like, and you know exactly how to deal with whatever that situation is, because you had just read about it from the best words in the world.
Yep.
And you know that it's going to be okay.
But you know, just like Al, like I appreciate so much that he can quote scripture.
Yeah, because I can't do that.
I can't either, and Wendy can, and that ain't something that you're just like, oh, that's my like parlor trick. Like that is from years of study and years of, and I'm like, I want to be, because if I'm going to reference anything, shouldn't it be scripture?
Right.
Shouldn't, if I'm like struggling with whatever, because you know, right now we're in the throes of adolescence, which, dear Lord,
I'm praying for you.
Thank
I'm
you.
praying for you.
But those questions of like,
Yes.
what do I do? And it's so important to always go back to scripture, because there isn't anything that's not there.
That's true.
I mean, it's like, it's
Oh,
all
that's
there.
great.
And
That
it's
is
all
awesome.
happened. And so anyway.
I love that. Well, thank you for sharing your morning with us. I appreciate it. And hopefully if that's something you've been thinking about doing, I, highly encourage you to do it. Not that I do it every day. I need to get back to it because I love that you do that every day. It does. It makes your day better. It makes everything better.
It does.
It really does. It makes you a better mom. It makes you a better employer. It makes you a better friend. It makes you a better parent, and makes you a better child. It does. It really does. All those things. And I love that. I love that you do that every day. Let's talk about what you do every day after that, because I want to talk and give some tips, because we talked about this a little bit earlier. When I walk in my closet, I look and I go, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I have some of the things that you can put together that'll make a really cute, fashionable outfit. What is the trick? What is your secret sauce?
Closet staples.
And
I use it so much. It's like I use it so much when we do a drop, like Krista said, every week, and we do these like sneak peeks where they're essentially a try on haul, but it's me explaining. And I use the word closet staple a lot. I've also been told I use the word obsessed a lot. I like big words, apparently.
I love that you use obsessed, though, because I go, if she's obsessed with it, I think I should be obsessed with it.
But then it's like, does it lose its luster? Because I'm like, someone's like, can you really be obsessed with all of it? I'm like, yes, I can.
Yes, you can. See, I say love it a lot. Love it. Love it. Oh, I love it.
That's right.
So that's my obsessed. Is love it.
That's right.
So
hey, everyone
you can't love enough.
That's
you
right.
can't be obsessed enough.
That's right. So a closet staple. That's it. I say it so much when we talk about stuff, because to me that's that's your thought of like, okay, if I get this, she can see it, and I do. Like I see it as something that I could wear with a lot of things. It's not going to be a one-trick pony. And there's nothing wrong with one-trick ponies. Like a fabulous dress to wear to your Christmas party, or a fabulous jacket that you might wear 3 times a year.
Right.
Those are investment pieces, and that's fine. But if you really want a not well organized, because mine's not organized, but it is.
Is it color-coded?
Oh, heck no. Heck no. I love that for people, but no. My daughter sees that way.
Is it in sections? Like, what is it? I'm like, I want to know what's in Lauren's closet. Ooh. Is it like dresses, shirts, pants? It is. Okay.
So what's funny is that my staff is laughing at this question because I am the most organized chaos. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So awesome.
Yeah, they are amazing.
Hi, Wendy. Hi, Shauna.
But it was funny because I was telling them I was coming to this, and I was like, I don't. They all looked at me like, you're better on the fly. Like, you can't plan a thing. And I'm like, that's
why I don't send questions beforehand.
Exactly That's exactly right. But I can't plan anything. I don't work like the just chaos. I thrive in it, strangely enough. But so I will say I do have like a short sleeve section, like a warm section, and then like my cold section. That's it. It's all intermixed.
Okay.
But we go back to this closet staple, and I say, for example, a white button-up. If people have followed us for a while, you know that the white button-up is literally my most used item in my closet.
Yes.
Because you can have the same one, which now I've accumulated about 15, 20. That's probably a gross underestimation. But you can layer them. You can do so much with them, and it just changes the whole outfit by one item.
Do you have a favorite? Is it that one that you talked about? The Julie. I want the Julie.
Let me tell you something right now. We did not know it was going to become such a beast. Again, gross underestimation. We probably sold 500 of those shirts.
Wow.
We had to go to our vendor, and we were like,
wow, that's a lot of one shirt. Yeah.
That is a whole lot of one shirt.
That's awesome.
We called our vendor, and we were like, we need everything you have in your warehouse right now. And they're like, really? I was like, yes. And because we loved it so much, and it also gave the person, like what you're saying, like, I don't know how to.
Yeah.
And here's what we did. We started referencing it all the time. So we said, okay, here's the sweater, but guess what? It's going to also go under the Julie.
Okay.
And so you're giving, and that's what I really love to do, is educate. Of like, I don't want you to just buy to build a huge closet that it's like, why do I still have tags on stuff?
Right.
No, I want you to have stuff that you're going to wear.
Right.
And but that's also the fun for me, because it's like, how different can we make it? It was funny, Tabitha and I were shooting this morning, and she was like, you're just anything but basic. I'm like, Basically, yeah. I'm like, you're
Basically, you're right.
Basically, you're exactly right. I'm like, we can have a sweatshirt. It's never just going to be a sweatshirt and jeans. We're going
Like
to
I should have
show
put the Julie under this, shouldn't I?
Totally.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it when I was putting it on. I was like,
But you
I
did
know I should be putting something else with this.
Okay, so let me tell you.
Okay,
Actually,
yes.
you did
What-
really good here
okay.
because you wore it with jeans.
And I
But-
wore these, and I never wear my ripped jeans, but I was like, I have ripped jeans, and I want to be cute for Lauren.
Oh my gosh, you're
Seriously,
so
you can ask my
funny.
husband. This
You're-
was my thought process this morning. I'm like, I can't just be basic
Yes,
today.
you could have. Yes, you could have.
Because all my other jeans are basic.
But a way that like I would have changed up the sweatshirt
Okay,
has
yeah.
been like, okay, let's get the Julie, put it on, because with this sweatshirt being the length that it is,
Yes.
I wouldn't put it with leggings because it shows too much of your front and your back that
Yeah,
you
and
don't want to show.
We've had kids, and we don't want to show.
Listen, I even told Tabitha this, who's like a size 00, best body ever. I'm like, I still would not show I'd say the crotch. It's just what it is, what it is.
Say whatever, insert whatever word you use.
That's right. It's just not, it to me, it does not look good.
Yeah.
Especially when you're wearing like what we love now are the commando leggings.
So I love that. Always cover it. Always have
Always
it long,
cover it. And
long
so you
enough.
get more wear out of that. And then throw a vest over it. Our vest is
Ooh, a
another.
vest would have been good.
Another.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just, but that's what we love to do.
And
We
all I
love to have
I thought
closet
of that.
staples.
I thought vest too, and I thought I only have golf vests that I wear to watch the kids play golf.
I love
I
it.
need a puffy though. I need like
You
a
do
cute
need a
puffy,
puffer
right?
vest.
See, I knew the word. Yes, puffy.
West Texas is
Okay.
like Texas in general is made for a good vest.
Yeah,
because
and
you
have
can
some cute ones right now with that little
the ruffle.
sleeve that goes out. Yeah,
It's funny about that vest because when we brought it in, my staff was like, "Ruffles, really?" I'm like, "It's gonna be amazing." But really, what made that vest so amazing is we did this reel. Again, if you follow us, you know we love to be silly. We do not take ourselves too seriously
Which I
ever.
love.
But we did a reel. We did this dance that was so fun. I followed this guy that was in Arizona. He was like a dance instructor, and I was like, "Y'all, we can do this." So I sent it over to Brittany and Cameron, and I was like, "Learn it. Let's do it." We came in, put those vests on, and that dang dance went viral.
Oh
And
my gosh, that's awesome.
we could not keep those vests in stock, and it was so funny. But it's like the power of like something so simple, and we
Right.
all had it on in different ways, and it was like, oh, okay, like she has it on with a hoodie, she has it on with the Julie, she has it on with just a regular old sweatshirt, and it just, it gave you a like, okay, I can see why I'd spend money on this. Like I'll actually use it. Anyway.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I love that you're using, because I truly believe that everything in our life leads to where we're supposed to be. Like every experience, every job you've had, whether, it was your first job out of when you're 16 or first one out of college, like they all lead you. You're educating and you're using your cheerleading skills.
Oh my gosh.
You are such a good dancer. You really are.
you're
So
sweet.
I studied dance. I wasn't a cheerleader, but when I see you, I'm like, she can dance.
Oh, you're sweet.
Like
That is.
you really can.
I love to dance. So
much
I love to
fun.
dance. So it was funny because I grew up dancing. I actually auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club, which is like a small little thing you might not know about
That
me.
fun fact. I was going to ask you for a fun fact
There
later.
it is.
There you go. Fun fact already revealed.
Except I couldn't sing. I
that's
couldn't
okay.
hold a note.
That's all
As
right.
my dad said, he's like, you kind of sound like a wounded duck when you sing. My mom was such a good singer. I did not take that from her. Anyway, so I love to dance, but I danced
Me
growing
too.
up first, and then I got into cheerleading. But dance
So when did
has
you
always been-
audition for Mickey Mouse?
I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. I was right there
So
with
you're
like
right there with
Britney
Britney?
Spears. Oh yeah.
Christina,
Oh yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Yep, Jessica
my-
Simpson. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
It was crazy.
That is so cute. What a fun fact. I
Is
love
it?
it.
Except the story
is.
is embarrassing, and my whole family
Oh, I wanna hear
never let me live it down. So a friend of mine that lived in Odessa, he was like, "Come on, the Mickey Mouse Club are having auditions in Dallas. Let's go." And I was like, oh, "Okay." Who are my parents, by the way? That they're like, "That sounds like a great idea. Let's hop on. Let's hop on a flight and do this."
My mom sent me to Star Search.
What?
I didn't make it.
What? I love that our parents were like, "Yeah, you want to go do that? Let's do it."
And Wheel of Fortune Kids version.
Oh my god!
Didn't make either one. I made it to the third level though. Third level on Wheel of Fortune. Just didn't make it to the TV where you actually get in the studio.
They really missed out on that one. Then they
Man,
really missed out because they didn't know what they missed.
So
on that
I
one.
love your parents. Yes,
I do too.
My mom's the exact same way. She's like, "What do you got to lose? Go try it."
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that my parents believed in me enough, and they knew that I could not hold a tune, and they were like, "Yep, let's go do it."
Do it.
Okay. But we really had no idea. I mean, there were kids, as you know, who were like in the showbiz. Like I had friends that like they just did that kind of thing.
The triple threat.
Yes.
Sing, dance, act.
Yeah. And I didn't know anything about that. Like I just loved to dance.
Yeah.
And we jumped on a flight and they were like, you probably should have something prepared to sing. And I was like, okay, well, I can't sing, so I can dance. And so Paula Abdul, you remember?
Oh yeah, straight up now tell me. Yeah.
That was the song, Opposite Attract.
Get out.
No, I was like, look, I'll just like come up with this like cute dance to maybe distract them from the fact that I can't sing.
Right.
So they took, and there were thousands of kids at this audition. And so
Love it.
the dance portion was first. So you were out there with like hundreds of kids, and there were people with like, you know, what is that? Like what is this called when you hold it? Anyway, whatever. Walking around, writing notes.
Oh, the clipboard.
Thank you. And they would tap you on the shoulder and say, thank you for coming. Whatever. So their first cut was dance. Well, I made it through the first cut of dance. Yes. I was like, thank you, Mom.
Yes,
She
I
believed
know.
in me.
I can dance.
That's right.
Yes.
So, but then it was singing. And this is where it got real bad. They lined you up with all these hundreds of kids. And mind you, like, now ask me if Christina Aguilera was there. I don't know. But there were goods with kids.
For the story's sake, we're gonna say she was there.
She was there. Yeah, she was standing right next to me. We're best friends. Still talk to this day. But they would go down this line and be like, okay, sing. And
I can picture it. Yeah.
And if you had a good voice, it kind of kept letting you go. And I knew, I was like, okay, this is my chance. I'm going to do my Paula Abdul song. I got my little dance. They got to me. And I'm telling you, the most stage fright, she pointed at me. She goes, dance. And I was like, or sing. And I was like, M-I-C. See you real soon. And they're like, thank you. That was it.
You sang that.
I sang the Mickey Mouse Club
song.
I literally
Oh
froze,
my gosh.
Krista. I froze.
I love
Paula
this story
Abdul's
so
song,
much.
like, literally just went from my whole being. I had no idea. Nope. M-I-C-K-E-Y. That was it. And they were like, thank you. Goodbye. That was it.
I love this story.
But you know what?
This is great.
Shockingly enough, it didn't
Good
ruin
experience.
me. Yeah.
See, and I think that's why you should go for stuff and try anything. Why
absolutely.
not?
And
what's the worst that can happen?
And be told no or no thank you.
See, in my case,
no thank you.
I feel like telling the Mickey Mouse Club people to watch you on Instagram now and be like, y'all missed out.
No, but you know what?
Y'all missed out.
Actually, I'm like, I think I dodged a bullet there.
Yeah,
because
I think you did too.
All those kids, man, they all got issues. I just got done listening to Britney Spears' book. Ooh, yikes!
I haven't listened yet. Is it worth the?
It is.
Okay,
it is, and it's really sad. And I think,
I feel sad for her too. When I've read excerpts, but I haven't listened to it.
And you'll, I mean, one of my friends was like, I don't feel sorry for her. I'm like, yeah, but as a kid, think about when she started that, and that's where I was like so thankful for parents that like. I mean, you see that her parents were just using her as a cash cow, and they saw the talent and the ability, and it just ruined her. Yeah. And so honestly, I'm like, God, thank God. Like,
no, you're right. See, everything happens for a reason. But you are using some of those skills. You are using those dance skills.
Truthfully, I mean, I do love clothes, but the social media aspect is literally
Let's talk about
my
that.
favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's funny because my staff, my goal is we employ now about 20 people, and it started with just me, and then it like filling all these orders. I couldn't do it, so I bring in some of my friends and be like, look, I'll give you a killer discount on clothes, and I'll pay you in clothes if you'll just come help me fill these orders, because we were all online first.
Oh, that's right.
We did everything online.
The store's open how many years? 2 or 3?
2.
We
just celebrated 2 years, and I rented out the front of my dad's warehouse, and just had a few things. And anyway, so I'd have friends help me, and then it grew, and then Wendy came along, and we've bounced from place to place and have landed where we are now, because I swore, also swearing I'd never come back to Midland. I swore I'd never have a storefront. And again, the Lord had other plans, and we, have a storefront now. But there's so many things that were hard for me to let go of, like inventory or the email or the whatever. I cannot let go of social media.
Yeah.
I
Nor
love
should
it.
you, because you're so good at it. You really are.
You're sweet. But
because it's hard to do. It's not
mm-hmm.
easy to be that successful at social media.
Oh, you're really
No,
sweet.
it's true though, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to jump on that social media and I'm going to go viral. You can't make yourself go viral.
No. There's no
If that is your
recipe.
intention is to go viral, it's not going to happen.
Nope.
You just have to go out and do your thing. And that's what I feel like you guys do, and do so well.
Oh,
it's like
you're sweet.
You smile, you laugh, and then at the same time you go, oh, and I need that vest.
Yeah.
You smile, you laugh, and then you walk into the store. I mean, so it's just, it works. It really does work. What advice would you give to someone? I'm just going to make sure it's not a kid calling. It's not.
I know you were like, you can keep your phone here. I was like, no,
Yeah,
if my kids need me. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone that's starting that? Because you don't know where to start.
Okay. Well, let me backtrack because I do have a lot of backed customers who've been like, I think I'm going to do what you do. I'm going to go to market because it looks so fun. And I'm like, oh, it is fun. And I will encourage anybody all day long. Yes, if it's what you think you want to do, go do it.
Yeah.
Like, I will be your biggest cheerleader. I will help you any way that I can.
Right.
But it is, but it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work. And it is, if you think you're going just to get to go to market, or you think that you get to have an awesome closet, the thing is like, that is fleeting. And I remember my mom telling me, like, if you are addicted to French fries, you should go work at McDonald's because you will no longer have the addiction.
Yeah.
And she's exactly right. I mean, it's the same with this business. It's like, when that starts wearing off, you have to grind it out, and you've got to figure out a way, because now the market is so flooded.
Right.
Between Amazon, Target, Walmart, it's like, where do we fit in? And it's funny because when I started, I did all what we call fast fashion, which is very affordable, on trend, very, not necessarily great.
Give me a price point. Like what?
Like $32, $42, $62.
Disposable wear?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could wear it for a season, and once you're done with it, it's fine. And don't be sad if after 2 washes if there's a hole in it.
And the button falls off.
That's right. So, and which is funny because that wasn't ever me.
Yeah.
That wasn't ever me at all. Like,
Right.
I came from a mom who was like, look, even if it costs a little bit more, if you're going to wear it and it's good quality, like, there is something to be said for that.
Right.
And I don't mean, my God, go spend like $2,000 on a pair of leggings, but
Right.
I mean, like,
quality over quantity.
That's right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And so anyway, what were we saying?
We were talking about social media, and you were going to give us the amazing tip that's going to get people started.
Good Lord. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be. I love it. This is so much fun. I know y'all are having as much fun as we are.
Oh my gosh.
This is great. I love it. Okay, so what's that tip?
I would just say, like, know who you are. And for me, the thing that I never want to be is, I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't want to sell you something that I, A, don't believe in, or B, you don't need.
Yes.
Because we have enough of that on social media. We have enough of people being like, you have to have it. It's like Alyssa, another one of my models, and I were having this conversation yesterday about Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the heck? Everybody's like pushing for, this year, what you need to do with your Christmas decoration. I was like, wait, what's wrong with the stuff I've been using the past 10 years?
That I spent a lot of money on.
Right. And somehow they have this power to, like, convince you that yours is not good enough and you need to go for all new. And it's like, the power of social media is really crazy.
Right.
And so for me, as far as what I would recommend on social media, was that the original question?
Yes, like how to get started. But I'm glad you said what you said, because that's so important about the sales. It was my best friend that was calling a minute ago, Tiffany. She lives in California.
Yeah.
Hi Tiff. She worked in retail at a young age, and she was the best, and it still is the best at anything she is passionate about. So you never felt like she was selling you. Like, I swear, she would tell people, no, that outfit is not, like, they would walk in. Do you remember Wet Seal?
Oh,
okay.
Oh my gosh.
So she was like a top manager at like age 19 at Wet Seal.
Yes.
And you would walk in, and she could outfit you, and you walked out feeling like $1 million, but I guarantee she never sold you anything that did not look good on you.
That's right.
And so she was the best, like what you just said. I'm not a salesperson. Like, she really was just making someone feel good. I feel like she sold the power of feeling great about your outfit when you walk out. And she also said this, which I think you'll agree with. You never feel as good in an outfit as the first time you wear it.
That's exactly right.
And I'm not a fashion person. Like, I didn't get that.
Exactly right.
But she was right. She'd be like, you've got a big event. You've got to go get a new outfit. Like, you're going to MC that. And I'd be like, yeah, I've got to MC this big event, and there's going to be thousands of people, and I don't know what I'm going to wear. I'm just going to wear my basic black dress. And she'd be like, no, you need to go get a new one. Like, you'll never feel as good in that outfit as you do the first time.
That's exactly
Isn't
right.
that good?
That is so.
Okay,
And it's so bizarre. well, it's just bizarre as women, like as much as you can say your identity is not, or your self-esteem is not tied up in like getting dressed up. And it's like, but it is. Don't you feel better? Like
but you're doing it for yourself. Like I don't feel like I never. Yeah,
exactly.
Like that's part of it. You're like doing it for yourself that day.
Well,
like what am I going to feel the best when I go out and because I always tell the kids go tackle the work. Tackle the day.
Yes.
When you go out there in the world, you want to feel good about it.
Yeah. Well, I went through a phase this summer where I was like not wearing any makeup and I was like throwing my hair in a ponytail all the time and not ever like just getting dressed. And I noticed after a while I was kind of in like a slump, and it was just because I'm like, you know what? You don't feel good about yourself. And it's okay to not wear makeup. It's okay to wear like leggings, but it's like, if you have like an event and you want to look good, go do it.
Yeah.
Go get something, because confidence is contagious.
Yes, it is.
And
isn't
you
it? I agree.
do not like, my husband's Christmas party is my favorite thing ever, because I'm like, yes, I get to get a new outfit, and I love to put something together, because it's like I want to walk in there and feel confident, not because I want people to be like, oh, she looks cute, or oh this, but it's like you are a different person when you feel good about yourself.
Yes.
Period.
Yep.
Period. And so it's. Anyway, but back to
get back to social media and how you can start it with your business.
Like you're gonna ask all of your people that you interview, be like, look, if you need like Adderall, take it before you come in here.
This is awesome. I'm loving this. I don't want it to ever end. I'm like, this is so much fun. This is great. Let's keep talking.
I love it.
So I think, and you can probably speak to this more. I think you have to find what works for your business,
for sure,
right? Because
and
it's
listen.
not listen to what the customers like, the response, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So one thing that was big for me when it came to social media was I did not want to feel like QVC. And I feel like we have plenty of bloggers out there. We have plenty of influencers. We have all of that.
Yes.
What I wanted people to see was me and the why. That it's like, I'm not just here to like, have kind of my own thing and like make some extra cash or whatever. It was like, no, like I felt like the people could see me and they got to know me because remember, we didn't start in a storefront.
Right.
People need to know who they're buying from.
I agree.
And that goes back to my dad. Like people loved him because they loved him.
Right.
Yeah. He was very good at what he did, but was there probably other interior designers out in the universe that were good or better than him? Probably. But it was him.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, we don't have a storefront. How can I make this work where people know me? And then it became know us.
I love it.
And it was like, you can't sell people all the time. You can't even talk about clothes all the time. It gets boring. It's mundane. And if you look at, I keep using the word influencers because in my line of work, they're, like we watch and we look at them and whatever. But I'm like, the really great ones are the people who you feel like you know them. And it's like Cheers, right? The Cheers, the bar. It was like, you wanted to go where everyone knew your name.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
What a Mickey Mouse Club. They didn't know nothing.
They didn't.
I could carry a tune.
Okay? They got it wrong.
They got it wrong. But that was big. And we were we kept hearing people like, we love watching y'all's interaction. We love the behind the scenes. And I was listening. I was like, okay, we'll give you more.
So listen to your customers.
That's right. Listen,
what's working.
Listen and what works for you.
Yeah.
And for me,
it's true.
as people like put the clothes on. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like and honestly, like for me, what worked for me was putting it on a body to bring it to life.
Right.
Because like we talked about with those stock photos, it was like, I just think figuring out
to see what it looks like. And then here's the other thing, especially and I know you have customers all over, I'm sure all over the United States or even world. I mean, I'm sure you're shipping everywhere. But for us here locally, like we'd be like, oh, we know Brittany, she's adorable. And look how cute that looks on her, and like, you're like, okay, wait, if she's in that size, okay, what size do I need? Like, who that is. Or Tabitha, oh, look at Tabitha. Okay, how tall is Tabitha? You know them even in person. So you can kind of go, okay, what size would I be in that? Or, oh, I love that on her. I think it'll look good on me. We have the same hair color. Or, you know what I mean?
But on that same note, because Brittany and Tabitha are both so small,
Right.
they look good in everything.
That's a good point. They do look good in everything.
One thing that I kept hearing from customers was, I mean, of course it looks good on Tabitha. Of course it looks good on Alyssa. Of course it looks good on Brittany. But, you know, I'm 5'4" and I'm, you know, a size 10.
Right.
And
so I want to see that on me.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for me, where I would, I told you earlier, like, I don't love being in front of the camera. I knew that even if I like gave myself huge pep talks in the morning, I was never going to be the one to be in front of the camera as far as the pictures went. But when I kept hearing people say, man, I need to know how it fits in, like, they say normal, because truthfully, Tab is very small. We want to know what it kind of feels like on a normal human or a normal
someone
body.
who looks like my body type.
Right.
Yeah. And that's so true. You do. You want to see that.
So that's where our try on hauls came in. And that's where I was like, okay, I can hide behind my screen and do a little try on haul and still be in front of the camera. But that's where like Tori came in and Wendy and people that were
I love it when you and Wendy are on camera. I'm like, I just love it. I'm like,
we have a good time.
More of that. I need more of that.
We have a good time. So it was just figuring out what our customer wanted. I mean, we knew, for me, I'm very confident in what I do. Like, I know that I love to put stuff together, and I know, like, I'm confident in that. But the question was, how do we reach people? How do we reach more?
How do you keep social growing? Media, I mean, that's what social media is.
And if you're not willing to get on social media, if you're not willing to do the things that can really be a grind, don't get into this business. Don't. Because it is, I have friends that do it and they're like, nope, I'm never going to put on the clothes, or I'm never going to put it on somebody else. I'm like, well, I mean, then your growth, it might just stay here. Yeah. You got to be willing to like put yourself out there. And really, it's funny because Wendy will use the term tap dance. Like, yeah, if you want me to dance, I'll get out there and tap dance. Like, sure. But it is funny. Like, we're all willing to like put in the stuff that might be out of our comfort zone, because at the end of the day, if we don't sell clothes, they don't have a job. Yeah. Like, we can't do what we do.
That's true. And you got to do that to grow too. You got to get out of your comfort zone. Yep. What advice? How are we doing on time? We okay?
Oh my gosh, look at us go.
I was like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I want to know, what advice would you give to someone that wants to go into exactly what you're doing? Because there's a lot of people that want to get an online boutique going, or they want to be an influencer, or they want to be, so like, what advice would you give besides the fact that you're going to have to be on camera? What
I would say,
business wise, what would you tell them?
Be so smart. When you, like in my business, you can spend money so fast. And I don't mean just on facts, the clothes. Yeah. I mean, you could be like, well, I want the beautiful bag. I want the pretty tissue paper with our logo printed on it. I want to pay $20,000 to have our website built immediately. And I want to go in and gut this whole place and put the top of the line everything into the store. And it's like, okay, right, but that's really cutting into your profits. And my biggest thing, I did not borrow money. I did not ask my husband to help me. I got a credit card with a $10,000 limit, and I was like, okay, I'm going.
Here we go.
And I started with a low risk, and I would say always start low risk, because I've had friends that have gotten into the business, and honestly, it doesn't just have to be retail, any kind of business at all.
Right.
But it's like they spent so much money before their doors were even open, and before they even knew how people were going to respond to their business.
Right.
And then they were in all this debt. And I'm going to tell you, like, because right now I'm just going to be very honest, like, it took a lot longer for fall to hit and the cold temperatures. So we have way more inventory than we normally do. That is so stressful. Mm-hmm. And when you're stressed, it really impacts every aspect of your business. So if you have
from
all
employees
of this,
to customers,
to everything, to your creative out, to everything,
to creative life,
yeah. And so stress can just weigh you down, and taking on so much debt. We're like, well, I mean, my gosh, I've got to sell like $10,000 of clothes this month to cover this, and it's like, no, start small,
right?
And understand that, okay, like I laugh, I joke about this to people, but I mean it, like. When we started, our bags were these like little pink clear that are great trash can bags, and we still have them, but people laughed about it. I'm like, right, but it's 5 cents versus $2 for one of those other bags. And I'm like, I can't afford to cut into my profit like that.
Right.
And at the end of the day, do people really care? Because really, and now I maybe can see it if you're on a really busy, like a cool outdoor, shopping center where you want your bags being carried and you want everyone to see your bag. But in Midland, it's going into the back of someone's car and then it's going right back into their house.
And then they're going to throw it away.
Yeah. But I recycle those bags. Just
good.
FYI.
Good.
So,
FYI.
like if I take a gift to somebody and it's a Sephora bag, I'm like, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
It's probably not Sephora.
That's smart.
Like something else. Anyway. But
we just have a basic brown bag.
That's right.
At one point I was like, we're going to write, because I'm a big quote girl, we're going to write quotes on it. And we're going to put a sticker on it. Have we? No, we're going on 9 years. Well, but I'm like, it's a brown bag.
That's right.
You're just going to throw it away.
That's right. For online, like one of the things that we did, because we shipped out all of our orders first, those mailer bags, those poly mailers.
Yes.
Girl, you can get so creative with those, and
cute.
you can spend a lot of money on those.
I bet.
And I was like, nope, as much as I wanted to, because some people might disagree with me, and that's totally fine, because they're like, you want your brand, you want to make a statement. But for us, we've evolved, and I can tell you, for me, our business has gone up. We've never had a drop. And so to say, awesome. Well, because you didn't have the fancy this and you didn't have all the things, it never affected our business, because we were smart and we were able to focus on really what we were trying to get people to us for was clothes.
Yeah.
And I could use,
not
I had
the
more
bag, the clothes,
more cash flow to get more clothes and more inventory. And, because at the end of the day, you're going to have strikeouts and you're going to have home runs when it comes to clothes. So you better not have money tied up everywhere.
I think cash flow, you really hit the nail. What is it? Hit the nail on the head.
Yep.
You hit the nail on the head, because I think that's something as a business owner, you don't realize how cash flow will affect your every single day life. And I think that's such a good one. I mean, that is important.
And for me,
not overspend.
Oh my gosh, I needed the cash flow. For me, it got to a point I could not stay sane and do it all by myself. And like I said, we employ about 20 women. And right now at my store, there's probably 7 people there or 8. And it's like, they literally all have jobs to do. I'm like, it's not like, we're just sitting back there.
Right.
And I'm like,
scrolling.
And because I am able, like, we have the cash flow to pay 8 women at a time or 15 women at a time. It's like, we can continue to grow this business, because without each and every one of them,
you can't grow.
We can't. Yeah. We can't do it. And so for me, that's where I really had to look long and hard about, okay, like, I'm not going to have the cute bag, or I'm not going to have the amazing website, or I'm not going to have the whatever. And
that's
fine.
Good advice. That is great.
Because there's a lot of stuff you can do on your own.
Great advice.
We were talking about Shopify, and you're like, my daughter's really good. I'm like, then I'm like,
have her do,
And when it comes to a point where, because that's where we are now in my business, is I'm like, okay, we're at a point now where it's like, all right, let's invest in Shopify and really upgrading our website.
Because that is your business. I mean, that's how you're reaching the masses, right? Locally, you do a great job, or a great business, but you also have to reach the masses. And how do you reach the masses? Well, you're reaching them through Shopify. And online is really the future.
Oh my gosh.
My gosh. We all know, I mean, you have to have an online presence, or
people who don't, I'm like, well, and I think about when I was in high school, in Midland, we had a place called The Boutique. It's my favorite place to shop.
Yes, I used to shop there.
Oh,
yes,
it's my favorite.
Love The Boutique.
I worked for them on Saturdays, and I loved them. But to now doing what I do, I'm like, how did they do it? Because that was before social media. It's like, we'll take out an ad in the school newspaper, and I'm like, my gosh, it's like such a sigh of relief to know that, you know what, if you work hard enough, you can get your product out there.
Yes.
You just have to be willing to work and kind of put your pride down at a lot of times.
Yes.
And just do it.
Amen.
Because I think right now it is the lowest risk, if you're smart, to really get a business off the ground, because you can reach the masses. You're not just limited to however many people live in your town or your family or, whatever.
Got to have that online presence. Okay, we are talking all the things with Lauren Wall. She's the owner of Shop Estilo, and mom, an amazing businesswoman. I am just loving all the tips and all the things. Before we get into our little game that we play, it's called Favorite Things. It's fun.
Oh, yes.
It's so much fun.
Okay.
I want to ask you just 3 tips. We talked about having your basics, but 3 pieces of clothing that we need to have right now that we can style any way, and if we don't have it, we have to put it in our closet. What are those 3 pieces of clothing?
Good pair of denim. But I'd also I'd always put like one of those dash marks too. Good pair of leggings.
Okay.
Oh my God, because that's what you're going to live in.
Okay.
A vest and a button up.
and a button up, the Julie, or
The Julie,
something like
a
the
white
Julie,
button up,
but
specifically a white button up, and then you will fall in love with a button up. Because right now my brain just goes so many ways of like right there.
You're
you
styling
have so
it in
many,
your head,
yeah.
right.
I'm like you have so many ideas, so many outfits with 3 or 4 core pieces.
I love it. I love it. And can people go online to your website and just get ideas?
Oh, yeah.
And then also on Instagram.
Yep.
So if you're struggling one day and you're like looking in your closet, what do I do? You could go and then see how those pieces are styled.
Because I try to curate collections with each drop that's like, okay, maybe 1 or 2 things like, the denim, or maybe it's a vest, and say, okay, I'm going to sprinkle in some things in this drop. But our goal is that maybe, Krista, you're like, okay, I'm ready for a closet refresh.
Right.
On Wednesday night when you log in, you could have a closet refresh in one night.
Really?
And say, I'm good for the rest of fall.
I love it.
I'm good for the rest of fall. And so,
ooh, what's the hot fall thing?
oh my God, there's a lot. Do you want color or item?
Color. I'm seeing a lot of green, but I'm not sure if that's it. That's my visual eye when I'm out there. I see a lot of green, but what is the color and then what is the style?
No surprise here, pink and teal.
Pink and teal. Oh, I love pink and teal.
Pink has not gone anywhere after Barbie, and I'm absolutely here for it.
Me too.
Absolutely here for it.
Let's go pink. Yeah, it's my favorite color.
Same. I would say item. I hate the word trend. And it's funny, I learned that from my dad, because he would always say that. He's like, I hate when people are like, I just want what's trendy.
Yes.
Because trends come and go.
Right.
And so I love good classics. So I am always going to say, which it used to be Spanx, but I don't like Spanx. If you follow us on Instagram, I'm not going to give it to you here as to why I don't. But there's a lot of reasons. But commando leggings, I would say invest in those or put them on your Christmas list. Because especially if you're a mom, I know you wear leggings. Don't tell me you don't wear leggings.
Yeah.
But they are an elevated legging that you can dress up, dress down, and you will wear it. So I say fall, the thing about fall is really good pair of commando leggings and a really great vest.
Okay.
And if you're somewhere else, a really great jacket.
Okay. And the commando leggings, do they come in black?
All the colors.
All the colors.
Okay. Their original color was the black faux leather. Now they come in neoprene. Now we have it in like a metallic silver. We have it in like a green. Because people, it's a cult following. People are obsessed. My gosh, if you can hear my stomach through that microphone, I apologize. I hope you can edit over it. 10:45, I'm like thinking about lunch, and here we are at 12:30. Like,
I know. I'm starving too. So yeah, we will wrap this up so we can eat.
No, that wasn't like a cue to like wrap us up and having a nice time.
I feel mine in there gurgling too. So we apologize if you're hearing our stomachs growl. Seriously, that's so funny, but I did not. Okay, favorite things. Ready?
Yep.
This is going to be fun. I just have a little list. I kind of just go down the list. First one. We already said fun fact, but are there any other fun facts about you besides the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse audition?
I don't know if this is fun or ridiculous, but it's something that's like kind of. Anyway, when I was a kid, I cut my finger off in a snow cone machine.
Oh no!
The top of my right finger, which is like, who puts their finger up a snow cone machine? I did.
It's okay.
And I was old enough to know better. It's fine.
It happens.
So yeah, that's kind of a fun fact of just like, is that fun or stupid fact? Wait, I'm sorry. Which one did you say?
I love it. All right, favorite book.
Oh, Redeeming Love, for sure. Starting in college. Have you read it?
Yes, I have read it.
Did you watch the movie?
Our daughters, yes. So our daughters read it first, and then they kept raving about it. I'm like, I need to read this book. I read it, watched the movie, cried the whole time.
Oh, it is so
Loved
good.
it. Loved it.
It started in college for me, and now my girlfriends from college and I have a pact. We read it once a year.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's so good.
That's really cool.
Oh, it's so good.
I love it. Favorite podcast?
Oh, obviously this one.
Okay, thank you. But besides
obviously
this one,
I
swear I didn't tell her to say that.
No, she only paid me $20.
Yeah, only.
No, I'm just joking. I love Annie F. Downs.
Okay.
She's so encouraging. We talk about positivity. She's so positive, and
I love that.
she's a Christian. You know where she stands, and she's got really great people on her podcast. And I also love Raising Boys and Girls.
Okay.
I've read their books, and now they're these counselors out of Nashville, Tennessee. And if you are a parent, oh my gosh, they're so good. They are so good, and those are what I honestly like. I have those all, and I love podcasts.
Yeah, I do too.
It's when I'm driving, when I'm getting ready in the morning. Yeah. So yeah, I would say those are my top 3.
Okay, I'm gonna add those to my list. Favorite movie?
Well, we talked about Center Stage this week at the store. I love me some The Notebook.
Oh,
have you seen Center Stage?
No.
What?
Who's in Center Stage?
Nobody's. honestly, it was a dancing movie, and it's nobody.
Blonde girl. I
She goes
vaguely
off-
remember it. I remember the movie now, but I don't think I ever watched it.
If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it.
so
Amazing.
strange because as a former dancer, I
You have
would
got
love
to watch it.
Yes. Okay.
She was
I
a
can't believe
ballerina
it.
and goes off to
Yes.
New York, and she like
Becomes hip hop.
or
something?
it's really ballet,
Okay.
but she just kind of gets weighed down by like the stress of being a ballerina, and she just kind of cuts loose and goes to Broadway dance, which I had danced at that place, which is really kind of fun.
That's cool.
But
See, another fun fact.
fun fact. But she, it's so good.
Okay.
It's so
Center
good.
Stage. I'm gonna put it on my
And the
list.
music is really good too.
Favorite restaurant in West Texas.
Oh, Luigi's. Luigi's.
Luigi. She was like Luigi's or no, it's Luigi's.
Actually, I do love Luigi's, but my second favorite, it's my top favorite too, Taco Divino. It's my husband and I's date every Friday for lunch.
Sweetie, we need to try it because
Y'all have
Taco
not-
Divino has been shouted out. I think you're the third Taco Divino recently.
What?
And we've never tried it.
Best tea ever. Richard
Okay.
is amazing. He
Okay, I'm
also
gonna tell
will
him Lauren
cater.
sent me.
He's amazing.
Lauren sent me.
But it's cash only or Venmo, so go prepared.
Okay, good to know. Favorite memory here in Midland.
Has anybody said dirt storms? Because I have questions. Favorite memory.
love that. That's funny.
Oh my gosh. I mean, so we grew up on Country Club, and that was when the football stadium was over on Cuthbert
yes,
across from where my
Memorial.
store is.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And my parents like really loved being the house where people came to. You were never going to get an alcoholic beverage there. They were never going to let you drink. No. But my dad and my mom were such a good time that everybody loved coming over after football games. And it started with my brother, who's older.
that.
And then it continued with me. And my dad would do these like crazy games. And it just felt like a place where I just, that was one of
Just
my
a
most
happy
fond
memory. Like you can, you can feel it to this day. See, I think that's a good memory. Like when you can feel that feeling of seeing everyone come in and the happiness and the cheer and the joy.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was yesterday.
Oh yeah,
That's
I mean,
such a
because
great
after
memory.
every football game, everybody just flooded my parents' house,
Oh, I
and it
love
was
that.
like the fridge was stocked, the candy bowl was totally stocked, snacks were stocked. My mom was like, "Do we need to order pizza? What do we?"
Yeah.
and it was great. It was
I love
just
that.
so awesome.
What a good memory. Favorite inspirational song.
Hold on, what's her name? Francesca Battistelli, and it's "Lead Me to the Cross."
Okay.
Have you ever heard this song?
I may have heard it, but I can't think of it right now. I'm gonna go listen.
To this day, like I
Okay.
listen to it, and it just
Cry.
Oh,
Tears.
I mean, because it's like leave it at his feet. Like
Yeah.
it's so good.
Ooh,
Go
I
listen
love
to
it.
it immediately.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to that one. I already asked you your favorite Taylor Swift era, but do you have a favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, me. Me.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes.
And she
Yes.
didn't sing it in her Eras tour. I'm like, that is the most.
Maybe she's setting us
Fun
up for a
Friday.
second one.
Listen, I'm hoping she's setting it up for her European tour because
Yes.
I'm going. I'm just kidding. But that is my
That
favorite
is a
Taylor
good
Swift.
one.
And
It's like, how can you be in a bad mood listening to that song? It's like you're just dancing
You
the minute
are.
and singing the minute it comes on.
And did she not
Yeah.
just totally nail it on the video
yeah.
with it? I'm like,
oh yeah,
yep.
yeah, she
Yep.
did. She nails it on everything.
She really
I
does.
mean,
and I'm here
I-
for her and Travis Kelce. Just saying it.
Me too.
We don't get political, but I'm here for that one.
No, that's not politics.
I know.
But we can talk.
I just mean it's because what everyone's talking
We can
about.
talk about it for an hour because I'm here for it too.
I am too.
I follow it like
Oh, you look on my Instagram Explore page and it's like
It's all
Travis
Ta-
Taylor,
yeah.
Travis Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry.
yeah,
Not sorry.
Same.
That's
same.
like, why do you
That-
care so much? I'm like, because it's important.
I just want them to get married and have
I do
babies.
too.
I mean, sorry. So, I
It
mean,
is so good
sorry,
for
not sorry.
her.
I just
That's
want
right.
them together. I
too.
know. And so funny. So this is a true story. Every Saturday, I say to my husband, when do the Colorado the Buffs, when are they playing? And every Sunday I'm like, when does Travis Kelce play?
That-
I'm like, and he
that
goes-
is exactly
he goes,
right.
Two things you've never said in our entire marriage, 24 years this
That's right.
December, and you've never said those things. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm here for
I
both of
care
those
now.
things. I love a good motivational. I am always rooting for anything motivational, and Dion is motivational, and
Okay.
then Travis and Taylor, I'm here for it.
But did you, I'm going to send this to you.
Okay.
There was a reel of two sisters that have been Colorado fans forever.
Yes.
Did you
yes,
see it?
Yes. Yes. I know.
Literally, and the
and then
one
one
of the
dies.
sisters died. Oh And he goes to visit her?
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's the best thing on the internet right now. And
it
it's
is the
not
best
right now
thing.
because it was like 2 months ago.
But it is. It's still the best. Well, in our house, we see things 2 months after. We'll send them to our kids, and they're like, Mom, Dad, that was like 3 months ago on TikTok. And I'm like, well, sorry, we just saw it for the first time today.
I'm impressed that you said you're on TikTok.
Like that little kid that is so cute, and he's like, I'm tired, and what does he say? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to ask Al.
Wait, you need to send that one to me.
Okay, I'm gonna send it. And we sent it to our kids yesterday, and they were like, yeah, that was three months ago on TikTok. And we're like, oh, but he's so cute and he's so funny. And he's like, I worked hard at school and I'm just exhausted.
No, I do know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. There's so many good ones that I think are just classics.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I get off topic.
I love it.
Let's talk about your favorite nonprofit. We always do that before we wrap things up. Favorite nonprofit here in West Texas.
I have two.
Okay.
So we have recently started serving at the Midland Soup Kitchen.
Oh, good. Yes.
Y'all, first of all, if you're a business or you coach kids or whatever, go volunteer. And what's so great is when you go to help serve, they tell you the story and how Midland Soup Kitchen came about. It's incredible.
See, and I don't know that story. We need to have them on the podcast.
You've got to have them on the podcast.
Because I want to hear that story now.
Oh my God. And it's a family thing because the parents have both died and now the daughter's carrying on the tradition. And it's not like junk food.
That's awesome.
She prides herself on going back there and cooking. And anyway,
I love that. So Midland Soup Kitchen.
Midland Soup Kitchen. And then the Crisis Center in Odessa. In fact, I'm doing Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, you're going to kill it. I'm so excited.
I'm really, so I didn't really know much about the Crisis Center because there's so many amazing nonprofits in this town. Which,
yes, there are.
Kudos to Midland, man. Like, you go anywhere else and it's like, they got nothing.
It's crickets.
Right.
Yeah. No,
and
I agree.
when we all signed up to do it, which we're all, really, it's not even about the dancing. It's about you're trying to raise money for the Crisis Center. And they come in and they tell their story and what they do and their why behind their nonprofit. It's incredible. It's incredible. So there's so many. I hate just doing two, but those two are really.
That's why I have a guest shout one out at the end because there are so many amazing ones, and I feel like we cannot support our nonprofits enough here in West Texas.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So, and then so we will make a donation. I really want to get someone on about the Midland Soup Kitchen though,
and it's a family. They'll do it gladly.
Okay,
they're
awesome.
Great. They're so fun.
Thank you. Is there anything coming into this interview and you're like, oh, I hope that Krista and I talk about that, and we haven't talked about it yet?
No,
we've had this has been so much fun. I hope y'all have had as much fun as we have.
And listen, if it wasn't fun, just don't say it. Don't leave her nasty comments because it was my fault.
Lie to us and tell us it was great.
Right. That's right. I'll take all credit for it being bad.
I think it was so much fun. I learned so much from you today. I just love your thought process on life, and I love the positivity that you are giving out into the world and helping us non-stylish women feel good about what we're wearing. Okay. I am going to go add a white collared shirt to this because I want to feel as stylish as you, and I think
you're sweet.
I think that anything you can do to make yourself feel better is important, and I am all about confidence, and I think that you're doing that for women in West Texas and young ladies like my daughters. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank
you.
And
keep doing what you're doing. God truly gave you that message 15 years ago for a reason, and I'm glad you're living your dream, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you.
How do people follow you really quick before we wrap it up?
So we are mainly on Instagram. There are still some people that are on Facebook, which we're there, but mainly we're on Instagram at Shop Estilo. You can find us online. You can find us in store right across the street from the old stadium on Cuthbert next to Far West and Perch. And like
go get
Krista
your coffee,
said,
go shopping, go to Perch. You can do it all.
Yes. That's right. And we really our mission is people, and everybody on my staff. It's funny because we're 20 women and we all love each other. We're such a family. And I personally I don't know if I said this enough during the podcast. I could not do what I do without them, and the importance of a good team. And man, we have a good time in there, and you can come as you are, whether you're sweaty or super cute. We're not ever going to judge you, and we hope you leave with a lot more joy in your heart. So.
Yes, and I think that definitely happens every time I walk out. I feel that exact same way. So thank you so much. Yeah. I just love this time. I hope that you will follow her, support this local business. You always hear me say it, support local, do it. Go today. We also want to thank our sponsors. Speaking of supporting local, support Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial, Tapestry Hotel Midland, Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap Company, Thin FR, and joincapclub.com. Remember, when you spend your dollars here, they stay here.
That's
and
right.
They're supporting playing baseball and soccer and all the things, cheerleading and
Club
volleyball and golf and
yes.
all the things. And we really appreciate you because our community is great, and we're just all in this together, and we're better together, and it's just it's a great place to be. I love West Texas, and
Same.
I love you, Lauren Wall. That was fun.
I like that you ended with the song, I love you too.
We gotta sing it out. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Don't forget my mottos: dream big, believe, and never give up. You make it a great day.
Ooh, we can work on our harmonizing, but for now, that was pretty good.
That was fun. Thanks so much.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.